In August 2014, Swinburne celebrated the end of an era of inspirational leadership led by Bill Scales, our Chancellor. Under Bill Scales' leadership, we have made notable achievements. We have continued to make advances in our research progress, achieving higher rankings according to the academic ranking of world universities. We have been innovative in embracing new digital technologies to improve our quality of teaching and the ways we reach more students. And we have transformed the university itself through investment in infrastructure for teaching and research. Bill Scales, in addition to supporting Swinburne's development, has also been a strong leader for the higher education sector as a whole, helping to chart new tertiary education policy and being a strong voice for both quality and access to higher education. It's with great pleasure that I invite you to look back on Bill's time with us at Swinburne.
When Bill started, Swinburne was still a relatively new university, an old institution, but only a university since 1992.
I first met Bill in his office when I'd been invited to think about joining council. I walked out of that meeting saying, this is something that I want to be a part of.
At that point, Blackboard was really a repository for material.
We've really been able to grow our number of staff and grow our research profile.
I think universities in general are far more professional than they ever have been and far more outcome focused, which is what we need to be. And Bill's been a major driver of that for us at Swinburne.
When I first came to Swinburne, it was actually as a student rather than a staff member back in 1988. I'm delighted to have come back 5 years ago as a staff member and to have seen the transformation.
When Bill retired, the campus Morning Mail, I think, described him as the Mandarin's Mandarin, and that's very true. He was involved in so many of the key public policy forums and debates and advisory committees, in particular for the universities, the Bradley Review and the Gonski Review. Bill's involvement in those while he was Chancellor at the university really placed Swinburne at the forefront of those changes.
Under Bill Scales' stewardship, we've undergone a major transformation for each of our campuses. Hawthorn, Croydon and Wantirna in Australia, and also Sarawak back in 2008 in Malaysia. Here at Hawthorn in most recent times, we've undertaken some major works in creating a Burwood Road entry. That started with the planning of the ATC, which at the time was the largest investment that the university had made in its history. The AMDC building is a 5-star Green Star building. We have water harvesting and we have efficiency in our heating and cooling systems.
We've kind of doubled in size over the last 10 years. So going from a small organisation where people could pass one another in the halls all the time, that's no longer possible.
You can firstly look at numbers, where there have been 120,000 graduates during his time as Chancellor. Enrolments in higher education are up 122%. We've moved into the top 3% in the world in research rankings. Revenue is up 70%, assets are up 90%. All of these have occurred during that period.
The people values at Swinburne that have stayed the same, the key one is that people love working at Swinburne, and that hasn't changed.
I think another big shift in that period of time is probably around internationalisation, that whole focus, I guess, on really understanding we have students from all around the world. Everybody operates at such a global level now, whether it's research, whether it's accessing resources and material.
Swinburne has been in online education for many years, and over those years they saw change, and in the last few years they saw increased demand from students for really flexible and accessible options for them. Swinburne had the vision to set up a centre of excellence that focused 100% in online. I can remember on the 4th of July in 2011, it was day one and there was just 4 of us. We were so excited. So we're all very bought in. We wanted to really prove for Swinburne that this would meet the market.
One of the changes with lectures, I think, in that period of time too, has just been the availability of additional sort of support resources for students. So staff can give a lecture, PowerPoint slides are up for the students, but we're also recording the lectures too, so students can go back and they can watch, they can listen, they can do that on their phone, on their iPad, wherever they are, whenever it suits them. So much more flexibility for the students.
Certainly as a starting point, having really good laboratories helps with doing all sorts of testing with industry, so that often provides an opening relationship. And then we've got, with our students out doing industry-based learning, we've got a lot of relationships with industry, and then sort of specialist consulting and other advice in industry's providing. So I'd say our industry profile's grown, and we've still got a lot more to do in that space.
When I think of Bill, I think of one of our values, which is integrity. Bill exudes integrity and demands integrity from those around him.
I think when you put everything together, whether it's the numbers and the actual changes, the legacy that Bill leaves with this institution is the evolution of the culture and the confidence of Swinburne University to be able to stand tall amongst the best universities in Australia.